Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The fight before Christmas. European qualifiers continue. We're getting really close to this qualifying matches. Spawning here at the bottom right corner of the map, playing for Team Liquid. It's going to be the Red Zerg player, Snute.
Nipper writes as the purple Protoss. It's ESC's Jade.
So Jade went for some cheese last game. What are your thoughts on just like the idea of actually throwing out that 2-gate, actually going for that bold move?
Well, I recall earlier in this cast I said not many people would go for a 2-gate right off the bat, and he did. So, respect for that. No, it's a good move, I think. Like, you gotta be honest with yourself, and I guess we gotta be honest here. Like, Jade probably doesn't think he's gonna win, you know? He might take off a game, just, you know, based, like, on something goes wrong. Like, maybe DTs do catch you by surprise, but, you know, it's probably gonna be a 2-1 at the most. So, like, if you can go ahead and just, like, start the game off like that and get, like, just a little bit lucky, I think that's a great move, but of course it didn't work.
Well, I think the thing for me too is like there's that element where like Snute is really good, and you definitely like this is a guy you don't want to take in macro play. You don't want to do Colossus versus, you know, jokingly Swarm Host or anything of that matter in the late game. So it kind of makes sense for me like that he goes for early aggression, whether it was through proxy gate or whether it had been like a 4-gate all in or something. Just again like that fear of knowing who you're up against, knowing that it's Snute, and knowing that you probably don't have a chance in the late game. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him try to replicate it here. You know, there might be the expansion build here, the quicker Nexus. It's Nimbus, of course, that kind of makes sense. But I don't know. I don't exactly see him getting away with a Stargate. I don't exactly see him getting away with a Robo. I kind of feel like if he does gateway pressure, it might be his best way to actually deal some actual damage here in the early game.
There's a lot of options again for Protoss, but it's like Snute. He's not playing it really greedy. I mean, it was Nimbus, and he doesn't even go for like a 3-hatch whirlpool. That would have been, you know, greedy, and he goes for just a hatch whirlpool. That's kind of middle of the road fine. And I'm sure he's gonna have to, you know, keep an eye on his scouting as well. He's well aware that it's something that he would lose against would be something that he did not scout, and that's always a silly way to lose.
Well, we actually have someone asking about some of the other players. Guys, if you want to check out the brackets yourselves, you can check them out on by typing !brackets in chat. To answer, Nurture is currently playing against Targa. I don't know if it's being cast by Emil or not. We are not currently covering it, but Emil streams on Gaming Live, and he is a big Polish fan, so I wouldn't be shocked if he was following that series around.
Nothing really going on so far. Just a completely normal game. From Jade too. I mean, so far, just a Nexus. But I gotta imagine it's gonna be like a Stargate or Twilight Council again. What does Snute fall into in the past? Let's think. I don't know. I just like, you know, in that IAM, he just lost a really solid like anti-swarm host play. It wasn't like anything specifically cheesy or like, you know, other players might just always die to a 4-gate. It's not really Snute.
Well, when I brought up the topic of aggression earlier too, I couldn't help but think of the old days where like you would actually see players like Snute and Stardust square off in like Zotax, right? Like once upon a time, forever ago. And it was again like the more all-in oriented, the cheesier moves, quote unquote, however you want to deem them, that tended to take Snute out. But went for the Stargate, got scouted, so cancels it immediately. Doesn't even take a chance.
Well, like, well, what is your? What's the plan? He makes it again. Okay.
Okay. This is. I hesitate to call this mind games. This might just be like, I hope you didn't see me. Like this is a horror game. You're hiding in the closet. Like.
I just want to question if like Snute actually saw the Stargate to begin with, the first one.
It did get canceled really quickly. Yeah, you're right. There's like a chance that they're not even actually didn't see it the first time through.
Mind games are the mind games that Snute just is oblivious of.
Well, I mean, he still hasn't seen it at the end of the day, and I think that's kind of the key point of what Jade wanted to do, so...
Yeah, but you wasted how many, like, minerals and gas with the cancel? Whatever.
74.
Whatever, it looks like he did actually see it. He throws on Spore Crawlers.
I like this a lot more. But here's the thing. I don't think Snute's turned on Spore Crawlers because of seeing this coming. Like, Snute is one of these players who... he will play safe. This is just like one of those paranoid Spore Crawlers. You don't know whether it's an Oracle, Dark Templar, whatever, but you cover all of your bases like this, and you're just good against everything.
Yeah. It's going to be Phoenixes for now. You can only get like 1 or 2 and go into something else. It'll be a trickery, or I could just go for the normal 5 and use them as harass and you know, helpful against any type of attack as well. Somewhat helpful. But this hidden nexus is like, it's such a cool idea. It just, I assume it's still going to do like probably a very powerful attack, either Roach Hydra, Ling Hydra, something, just maybe pure Roach, I don't know. And the secret third is not going to help him out. You know, it's only going to help him out if he gets past the mid game. And I'm not sure Snute's going to let him do that.
That's a good point. I mean, like, you can have all the economy in the world, but if you don't have the production, if you don't have the tech, what good is it? I mean, you're warping 7 Zealots with or without that third base if you've only got 7 gateways. So we'll see how that plays into it. But 2 more Stargates are thrown down, so maybe that's not even going to be the case here. Whoa. What? It's not going to happen, but my fingers are crossed for Void Rays.
I think it has to be Void Rays. You know, the other thing we could do is like Mass Phoenixes are kind of like a trollish kind of build.
Oh, he's gonna recall the probes too. He's straight up going like White Rat tactics on this to make sure Snute doesn't scout him transferring the probes over. It's a cute little move.
That's cool. So going for Swarm Host, it looks like, by the way. I really didn't think he was gonna play that type of game against Jade, but that is gonna be the case. Man. Dude, he's gonna be Tempests.
What if it's not Tempest? What if it's Carriers?
No, he won't even use them in Legacy of the Void, and they're good in Legacy of the Void.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So salty.
Okay, well, we'll see what it ends up being about. He is dedicating to his air, though, because he's getting those air weapon upgrades. Now, as weird as it might be to consider, Swarm Hosts and Locusts, they don't shoot up, but Swarm Hosts and Locusts are still good against air builds. What you end up doing is seeing a lot of static defense and slowly pushing, something Snute is very, very accustomed to. And it was up until this moment that I thought, man, we might actually be on time for the North American qualifiers, but...
Okay, so here's something I kind of forgot about, because you saw it once, maybe twice, and then no one else did it, and, you know. Oh well. But, you know, on King Sejong, going for a double Stargate and a Void Rays was getting less... Oh, it is Carriers, oh my god. Whatever, anyways. So,
this is like, no, you know, I'm gonna rub this in a little bit. This is like when Bly went Ultras Cavern and I was like, Brood Lords. You're like, no way, it's Ultras.
But he went Ultras Cavern.
Yeah, but he went Brood Lords.
With an Ultras Cavern? That's talented.
Do you not remember this game? Okay, whatever. Sorry, continue. Your point.
Intentionally not remembering. Anyways, like, if you think that your opponent's gonna go for Swarm Hosts, and it's not a bad bet for Snute, although I really thought he was gonna do something like more mid-gamey, like having air could actually kill them. They'll run across the map and they'll be like, well, I have like 5 queens, so like if he has a couple Phoenixes, I can be okay. And then you just have like 17 Void Rays, and they're like, what? Why? How? And I don't think Snute's scouted this yet.
No, and that's what's gonna be so awkward about this, because like he sees the third coming down late, and he thinks, okay, my opponent was just really scared. But you have to wonder, like, what was he doing while he was scared, right? Like, he's only revealed 5 Phoenixes. Now, the mothership too? Wow. This is gonna be... It's not even like Snute can make Corruptors into this either is the problem. He's gonna be investing a lot of gas, a lot of supply into Swarm Hosts, and that's okay to start, but quite frankly, the amount of Corruptors you would need to dive through this is gonna be quite high, and it's gonna be hard to get those numbers up.
He's going for a lot of queens. Like, you get a certain amount of queens with Swarm Hosts, like they're good for Swarm Hosts, but...
It's on 5 bases, they're going to be...
I feel like Snute is like... Does he think that it is going to be mass Void Rays? Like, this is a lot of queens.
I really feel like this is almost a scenario where Snute might be... I don't want to say underestimating Jade, but just not expecting him to be willing to pull something off like this, right? I mean, this is crazy. Who do we know of, other than like Rifkin playing team games, would ever go triple carrier production against someone like Liquid Snooze? There's oh god, the amount of anti-air here is just non-existent. This is gonna get trucked on so hardcore. Like, it's just like, oh, I'm taking out my opponent's third, no problem, easy freaking peasy. But Jade's waiting and trying to buy as much time as possible. The second he reveals these is the second Snute starts pouring every bit of mineral and gas into Corruptors.
You just have an overseer with the army. I never thought I'd be laughing at Snute in a game like this.
No, dude, well, it's not even laughing at Snute. It's more like laughing at the weird freaking situation this is in, right? Like, here comes the Interceptors. Let's make no mistake, guys. Carriers have a ton of damage, and they're going to deal a ton, too. But even though he abducts the Mothership, he might actually not... the Queen's got some really good damage. He almost gets it. He is going to get it, wow. But the Carrier should be able to hold. We'll see if they've got enough damage to stop the Locust waves. So he's focusing on the Queens first because he wants to make sure that there's no anti-air. It's a good choice, but the Locusts are going to run right underneath this and take out, well, you're going to expire soon, so maybe a gateway at most.
I really wish we had like player cam see Snoot's face. He played it so cool. I would not have pulled. I would have been like, what the hell, and I would have forgotten my Vipers, but you gotta be surprised. He does let down 2 Spires immediately, like that choice. Like Corruptors are bad, everyone knows it, no one likes them, but you just have to go for them. There's really no other choice, like unless he already had 100 Hydralisk.
So I think the fact that he's continuing to invest in carriers is a mistake. Carriers are cool and fun and how do you do and all that, but he's really gonna need the Void Rays to stop the Corruptors. I mean, carriers, they've got the damage for it. Don't make any mistakes, but the Void Rays are just so much better.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe thinking that Snute won't be going into Corruptors. I don't know. Snoot's also getting Pathogen Glands. I love that. You see them either forget or decide that it's not worth it, but I think that they're definitely worth it against Mass Air.
Oh, he's gonna get abducted into Spore Crawlers.
Yeah, you know, really, you see Battle Cruisers pull into Spore Crawlers, you're like, wow, they're kind of tough, you know? But
Battle Cruisers have a ton of base armor, though. Carriers,
like carriers.
I guess they
suck.
do too. Yeah, but they're more shields than armor.
But they see the die just like so much faster, like 3 times as fast.
Yeah. Okay, well, reassessing the situation right now, Snute, I think, first off, there's no way he predicted that Jade had this much economy to work with. Just part of, I think, the whole underwhelming expectations of what was coming. But he's advancing his Spore Crawler while forward. It's going to be really hard to break the offensive static defense that Snoot's putting down.
You know, I just realized Snoot's on a 4th base. Snute,
I don't know if that's
you might want to.
This is because I think it's all because he still thinks his opponent's on 2 bases.
Yeah,
if he
exactly.
knew about top left, we definitely see Snute taking like 5 to 6 bases. But hoping they just take out these carriers, assuming this is all of everything that Jade has, and it kind of is to an extent. But more Stargates coming down, more follow up to this. Tempest on the way.
He needs High Templars.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't disagree, but he's got nothing to protect him, so this is gonna get picked up by the Locust before they can get feedbacks, I think.
That's true. Well, okay, the Mothership still.
Well, let's say what carries is you can micro them back while they intercept his fire, and they're gonna take out so many of the Corruptors getting shredded, but for Snute, the Swarm House are gonna eventually wins this up. He can't afford to stop to attack the Locust. He has to focus fire on the Corruptors. He has to focus fire on the Spore Crawler. So, as silly as it is, I said it earlier, I'll say it again, like it's the Swarm House that are gonna beat the air, not because they can shoot up, but just because everything else has to shoot them.
He can start rebuilding, you know, on the other side of the map, though.
Yeah, like they're on a fleet beacon right now. They're on 5 Stargates over here. Like,
pick everything up and move it out.
Starting to bleed out some of his production. It might be worth it, honestly, to just start building more pylons, building more gateways, just to get that wall down. But Abducts went off yet again. Snoot's just going to pick this army apart one at a time. And by now, he's realized, okay, there's something. Like, how does he have any money? So he's running around with the Lings. He's going to find these bases. There's nothing here. There's no cannons that were ever built, which kind of shocks me. There's no Photon Overcharge available. Jade has put on a very interesting, cool game, but I don't think he's going to win it.
Carriers get just wrecked by Vipers and oh my god.
Queens, defensive Queens! Like there's creep in your base, Jade! Oh dear.
It's too bad. I thought Jade, you know, with how long he kept it a secret, could have had a really good time.
Yeah.
Like,
I really honestly thought like his counterattack potential was insane. 5 Stargates coming over here. If the Lynx never found out about this, like Jade would still be in this game, but man, the Void Rays and Prismatic Alignment are just shredding everything on the ground. All the armor is going down, but the problem is there's not enough of them. There's too many carriers and not enough Void Rays. As a consequence, that's going to be it for Jade. Good game, well played, good luck. With a heart. Not even upset, guys. Snoot's going to take this series 2-0 against an unpredictably strange game.